What is happening, my beautiful people? It is your girl Sim Ofebu here, and welcome back to my channel, my old subscribers. What it do? And if you have not subscribed yet, please hit the subscription button and notification bell and become part of the SO squad. Like, there's no other place you'd rather be, trust me. So today, guys, I have a story time. I actually thought about this story a few days ago and I was like, how come I've never said anything about the story? So yeah, I feel like it's one of those that do deserve a story time. But first, let me sip on my juice. This is just orange juice. I'm taking a break from alcohol for the hundredth time, but at least I'm trying, guys. Like, I'm trying. So I'm gonna title the story time "A Date from Hell" because it was, yeah, one of my worst dates ever. So if you follow my videos, you know that sometimes I take myself out. So it was a nice sunny day and I decided to go to La Parada in Waterfall, which is like up the road from my house. And I was sitting outside by the balcony looking snatched, looking pretty. I had just finished eating, so now I was just having a cocktail. And then this man walked up to me and he looked like my spec, like the type of guy I used to like back then, a guy that is a bit older, well put together, like, yeah, those type of guys that have their ish together. And then he came to me, he was like, hi, you look so pretty. Who you with? I was like, I'm by myself. He's like, oh, wow. He's like, so you took yourself out? I said, yes. And then he said, he's impressed. And, he continued giving me compliments. And he said he saw me from across the room, Yeah, so he was like, he just had a lunch meeting with one of his business partners and he's about to go to another meeting, so can we chat another time? I was like, okay, because I was single, guys. Like, I was single and I was seeing, like a snack. I was seeing my type back then. So I was like, it's fine. And then he gave me his business card and then he left. When I got home, I'm like, hey man, this guy looks a bit familiar. So I searched his name I started on Instagram. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. I kind of knew him. I didn't know him that well, but I didn't know him. I knew of him. He's kind of big in the business world. And there was, he had just gotten a divorce also, so that was kind of like big as well that time. Yeah. I was like, oh, so it's this guy. I was like, okay, interesting. So I texted him. I was like, it's yeah, just to give him my number also. So he saved my number and then he was like, he's gonna go to Durban. This was like beginning of the week, so he was like, he's gonna be in Durban up until the weekend. So when he comes back from Durban, can he take me out on a date? I said it's fine. And then on a Friday evening, he called me and he said he's back from Durban, so can he take me out on a date tomorrow, which was going to be a Saturday? I said that's fine. I wasn't doing anything, guys. Like, I was just at home. So I said it's okay. And then we set the time for like 1 and everything was just fine. And then the following day I woke up, I did my usual chores and I started getting ready. Like, I made sure that I looked cute. And he said we were gonna go to some like nice restaurant in Sandton. So I was like, sharp, I looked cute for the lunch date. I wore like a red freaking dress, a red low dress, makeup, hair, everything was on point. And then around 12:30, like, he still hadn't said anything that day. So I was like, I'm almost done. So yeah, what is going on? I didn't want to just go and then get there and I'm alone. The guy's not there. So I wanted him to get there before me. And then he didn't say anything. Then he called around 10 to, and then he was like, yo, guess what? I'm actually invited to an event today. And I didn't know, I just found out. And I was like, oh, you know what, I'm already dressed and everything, I'm ready, but it's fine, you can go to the event, we can reschedule. He's like, no, it's fine, you can come, you know, let's continue with our dates. I was like, okay, sharp. And then he dropped me location for the place, the restaurant that we were supposed to go to. I'm like, he's just dropping location, like he's not even saying, let me get you an Uber, nothing. I was like, and I didn't have my car that time. This was like end of 2021. So I was like, guys, like someone like him, I was expecting at least an Uber nyana, you know, like I didn't expect to pay for my own Uber. Red flag number one. But anyways, I was like, okay, it's fine. So I took an Uber and I went there. When I got there, like at the drop-off zone, he was outside already. And then I came out of the Uber and then I went to him, you know, we greeted and everything. The next thing, his friend came with his car. I was like, okay. And then he said, you know what, we're going to this event together. I'm like, what? Hi. I'm like, hey, what type of event is it? And he was wearing a suit, guys. Like, he was wearing a suit. Even his friend that was driving the car was wearing a suit. But his friend was like, you know, those guys that wear Gucci from head to toe, like those big shades. Like, he was that type of guy. Even his suit was just, yeah, it was too much. But, yeah, he was looking dapper, you know. Yeah, but I'm like, I'm dressed for, like, lunch, a midday lunch. I'm wearing a cute little number, like, what type of event is this? And then he was like, he'll tell me in the car. So we get inside the car and then he gives me the invitation. On the invitation, even the invitation was like, I'm like, yeah, I don't think like my outfit is gonna go with this event that we're going to. And then when I opened it, it said black tie event. I was like, yeah, guys, who goes to a black tie event with a red freaking dress? Yes, I was cute, but like I was not formal. I was like not club vibes, but you know, almost, but no, a bit toned down from club vibes. So I was like, I'm not dressed for this. It's like, no, you look beautiful. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I was so nervous. And then him and his friend kept talking in the car. Yeah, now we're going to Nelson Mandela's house. The event was in Houghton at Nelson Mandela's house. I didn't know that there's actually like a side where I think they hired out for events and stuff. It's a very beautiful, like it has a beautiful garden, and then when you go inside, it has like a little reception area, and then like it's like a hall, like a conference center. Like, yeah, I didn't know that the house had that. So he's like, yeah, you go to Nelson Mandela's house for the first time. How do you feel about that? At the back of my mind, I'm like, if this guy knows that I've already been there. I've been there before a couple of times. There's this guy that I used to be close with back then, and he was friends with Tata's, Nelson Mandela's grandkids. So, you know, I've been to the house a couple of times, but I wasn't about to tell this one that. I just let him floss and shit. Yeah, he was like, I got so turned off because he's the type of guy he is like a very respected type of guy, but I feel like he doesn't respect himself. The way he was talking like a small boy, like, yeah, this, yeah, that, like he was flossing to someone that you know, I've kind of been exposed to a lot of nice things in my life. So when someone starts doing that, like, I don't know what type of girls he was used to. I think he's the type of guy that is just used to, like, you know, showing off to girls. And I am not that girl. So I just let him talk. I was just zoned out. And then when we got to the event, we had to park somewhere. And a Rolls Royce came to pick us up. Like, the shuttle services for the events were Rolls Royces. I was like, okay, that's nice. And then my guy is like, please take pictures of me. I'm like, yeah. But he's asking me to take pictures of him. I've never met a guy, especially a guy that's supposed to be off his level, you know, asking for such. I'm a girl, like I was the one that was supposed to ask for him to take pictures of me, but no. Like, I respect myself. There's a time and place for everything. So it was not that place for me to be like, I want pictures, I want this. Like, I was just, yeah. Now, on the other hand, take pictures of me. Yo, I was so embarrassed. It was like secondhand embarrassment for him. Yo, that was like red flag number 2. Anyways, we entered the Rolls Royce, and then it took us to, the venue. Masifiga, guys, when we got there, it was like post-COVID. We had to take COVID tests first before entering, yo. And I had never taken a COVID test in my life. Like, even when I thought I had COVID, I never tested for COVID. So we took the test. It was a little traumatizing, that long thing. Yeah, but I did it. We all did it. And it's like instant results. If you know those like home HIV tests that give you instant results. So it was like something similar. And then it came back negative, thank God. So me and his friend went inside the venue. When we got there, people were wearing ball gowns, and the theme was black and white. A black tie, obviously. Black and white ball gowns. Like, everyone was like formal. Not even one person was semi-formal. Apart from me. And apart from being semi-formal, not semi-formal, casual. I was like casual, semi-casual. Yeah. So apart from that, I was wearing a freaking dress. Secondly, apart from being not being formal, I was wearing a short dress, and it was red. It was red, guys, and everyone else was wearing black and white. Yo. The eyes that were on me, like, who is this girl? Like, and you know how women are. I feel like they were also intimidated because I'm a hot girl, and I'm not wearing a ball gown. I'm wearing like a low number tight. My curves were showing. So they had that look like, who's this girl? Like, who is she? Yo, they made me feel like a tramp. I definitely felt like I didn't belong there. And then does this guy not leave me with like these group of girls that were sitting at a table, some of the ones that were looking at me, in a snacks way. He just left me there. Then he went and took pictures with other people. Yo, that event had like celebrities. It had like all these well-known people. Imagine the embarrassment in front of people like that, guys. Like, I looked like I had just came out of a lounge at like a formal event. People are wearing, tuxedos and ball gowns, and here I am wearing a whole red freaking dress. Yo. Hey. Yo. So when he left me at that table, those girls were not even trying to have conversations with me. They were just like being dope, guys. They were literally looking at me from top to bottom, and I was just like I wished, when like you're in a situation where you're like, I wish this ground would open and it would just swallow me. I was in that type of situation. I was like, oh Lord, what should I do? Should I just go back home? Like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I was so embarrassed. This guy was busy all over the place taking snaps, and yeah, and then the waiters came with the drinks. I was like, okay, let me take a drink. And then I downed like a whole glass of champagne because I was so embarrassed. When you're like that, an outcast in front of Pamkwaband, in the midst of people. That was me. I was the outcast in that whole event. And men, some of them were like drooling, like, yeah, But the girls were looking at me like, oh, who is this girl? Yeah, it was hectic. And then the event started and people started going in. And the guy came back, and then we walked in together. And then he was like, he wants to go and see the sitting arrangements before like we go inside. Now everyone had already gone in. It was just me and him. His friend also went in. And then I was like, okay, cool. So he left me at the reception, guys. Like, at the reception, there was like a mini reception with a couch. Not much there. There were girls that were working there. So he left me there. I was sitting at the couch. Yo, those girls were like, yeah, we sure this one was this one even invited to this event? So this guy, I waited for him, and then 20 minutes passed. I'm like, Aibo, he said he wants to go and check the sitting arrangements, what's going on. So one of the camera guys came to charge his camera. So he was just talking to me like, who you with? And I was telling him. And then 30 minutes passed. I'm like, can you please go and check this guy? Describe the guy to him. He went and checked him. He was like, he's sitting down, he's there. And the event had started, obviously, like I could hear from where I was sitting that the event was happening. So he's like, the guy is sitting there. I'm like, he's sitting. This guy told me that he wanted to go and check our sitting arrangements. So now he's in there and I'm sitting at the wrist. Like, what the heck? Red flag. This was like a walking billboard now. Like, not even a red flag anymore. So I text him. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't feel comfortable. And it's like, you've just forgotten about me. So I'm about to Uber myself back home. 5 minutes after I sent him that text, he sent me a text. He's like, no, please just wait. I'm coming just now. Did I not wait maybe another 20 minutes, like almost an hour, guys, sitting at the reception. And then as I was about to just request and go, he came out and then he fetched me. So even walking into, oh gosh, like it was so embarrassed. Now everyone is sitting down. Apart from me being, all eyes on me when I was outside, now everyone is sitting down. I'm walking in with my little freaking red dress. Oh Lord, I was so embarrassed. But anyways, walked in, went and sat. And it was nice. There were like people performing. Lyra performed. It was a nice event. I saw a lot of influential people. Guys, I was sitting on a table with like the mayor of what? Mayor of these provinces. I forgot which one. So the guy kept saying, yeah, this is the mayor of wherever. Whenever someone is passing, yeah, this one is. I'm like, oh my God, like I am so embarrassed. Like the last thing I wanted to do is like have eyes on me. But this guy, anyone that is powerful, that gets up, or even someone that goes and says something, you'll be like, yeah, this is whoever. I was so embarrassed. Red flag number 4. Yeah. So anyways, I was just like, yeah, food came, we ate, still tried to enjoy the event. Now it was like people were dancing. They were playing like old kwaito, like South African music. So I got up as well just to try and loosen up a bit. And people had like food and were drinking alcohol, and they didn't care anymore about me and my red dress situation. So now I was like, okay, now I can actually loosen up. So I started just dancing a bit. Everyone was dancing. I was not the only one dancing. And then this guy, he's like far, like it didn't even want to come close to me. I'm like, okay. I'm like, why don't you just want to dance close to me? He's like, no, the news people are here. I don't want to wake up tomorrow and be in the newspapers that I was dancing with a girl. I'm like, ugh, whatever. So I didn't even care about him, and I tried my best to enjoy the rest of the event. And then now it was time to go, and our shuttle service, our Rolls Royce, came to pick us up and took us to the car we came with. So as we were leaving, I was like, hey, now I want to be dropped off at home. He's like, no, let's go to Bold in Sandton just for a bit. I was like, okay. And it was not like late. It was like around 8 p.m. So it's not like I was rushing for anything to go home. And like I was really trying, because it had already been such a hectic day. I was like, let me just drink and just go home. So we went to Bold. Now, even before when we're at the parking at Bold, he's now loosening up. He's trying to dance with me. I'm like, hey, yeah, you didn't want to dance with me, so why all of a sudden you want to dance? You're free. He's like, no, because the newspaper people. I'm like, even here, it's not like it's not like we're gonna see people that don't know you. It's like, no, this is Bold. Now he started loosening up. When we're at Bold, every pretty girl that passed by, he was like, I was so red flag, billboards, number 5. Every pretty girl that passes by, he's like staring and drooling, and I was so turned off, guys. Like, I don't know why I expected so much from that guy, I think from the way he looks, firstly, he looks like someone that respects himself. And secondly, like, I know who he is, like, in the business world, in the um, like business industry. He's someone that is, you know, well respected. So I expected a lot. Like, I expected him to act like a gentleman, to, you know, just respect himself. Yeah, I got none of that. Like, I got none of that. And then I just got tired. I was like, hey, it's time for me to go. So as we were leaving, he was walking me outside. There's this girl with a big nyash, like a big, yo, she looked like a girl, like, for the streets. So she came, as we were going out, she was going inside Bold, and then they made eye contact, like, yeah. And then I continued walking, and then he's like, wait, I'm coming. He went and spoke to that girl in front of me, guys. Like, he's talking to her, and you can tell that it's someone he doesn't know, but he's just interested, like, in her. I was like, wow, this guy is such a disappointment. I was like, anyways, yeah, after the day I had, I don't even care about him anymore. I just want to get home now. Like, thinking that at Bold things were gonna be, you know, great and better than at the actual event. Dololo. So he walked me outside, and he requested an Uber for me this time. I was like, you know what? As much as I didn't want to say this, but I was annoyed for the fact that I came with my own Uber and I had a crappy day. So I was like, I hope that Uber is in your card. He's like, yeah, I always pay Ubers. And at the back of my mind, I'm like, what is this guy even talking about? Because he didn't pay for my Uber coming there. But anyways, I went home. Yo, when I got home, I was like, thank God I'm home. I have never been so embarrassed in my life. Like, I have never been so embarrassed in my life. I felt small, guys. Like, I felt, like, I was so embarrassed, and I was just like, I don't ever want to hear from this guy again, actually. So I got home, and I think I just blocked him out of my mind. I was like, don't, done. Tried it. Nah, he's not who I thought he was. And then he also didn't say anything, luckily. And then days later, he tried talking to me, inviting me to some braai he was having with his friends. I was like, I don't think I'm interested. He's like, oh wow, what happened? I was like, nothing, but I don't think I'm interested in getting to know you any further. He couldn't believe it. I feel like he's that man that, you know, women, you know, trip over because he's well off as well. You know, he's like respected in the business world, as I've said to you guys. Now I was like, no wonder that other lady divorced him. This guy, he's trash. Yeah. So yeah, I blocked him from my phone, and that was the last time I ever spoke to him. Then last year when I worked at White Sunning Hill, he came with this ratchet girl. I was like, oh Lord, this guy, like, he doesn't respect himself. And then this year when I was working at Monarch, I kept seeing him all the time. Like, he would hit on other promoters that I was working with. He would, you know, he would always look at me like, I don't know if he didn't remember me or he was acting like he didn't remember me, but I didn't give him the time of the day. I was just always like... And when I saw him at White last year, he did come to me and was like, you look so familiar. And I was just like, yeah, enjoy your evening. So I never wanted... I don't know if he was doing it on purpose, or maybe because, like, he's a player, so he gets girls all the time. But yeah, I last saw him this year at Monarch. Like, maybe I saw him like 5 times at Monarch, like, since I'd been working there. It was like he was there almost every weekend. So yeah, no, I dodged the bullets, guys. Thank God. Good riddance to trash. Yo, I will never judge a book by its cover again. Like, these people that seem prop and prim, especially the men. Hi. So yeah, that is the end of my story time. Like, that was the worst date I had ever been on. If I should even call it, does it even deserve to be called a date? So yeah, no, it was horrible. yeah, no, I'm glad, like, I don't have to be dealing with situations like that again. Guys, yo, with my red freaking dress, that dress started traumatizing me after that whole thing. Like, I didn't like it anymore. I was like, yo, whenever I saw it, I was like, yo, I would think of the embarrassment. The embarrassment I had at that event with like females looking at me like from bottom head to bottom, like celebrities looking at me like, oh, who is this? Oh, guys, hi, like I was embarrassed, like I was traumatized by that thing. So yeah, that was definitely a date from hell, and I will never put myself in a situation like that again. But we live and we learn, so it was just one of those moments. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the story time. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that when I come on, you will be notified. Guys, please also don't skip the ads. You know, like they're very important to me. And also, please don't forget to leave suggestions in the comment section of what other type of videos you'd like from me. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day. I am out. Deuces.